White is the lightest light out there, or at the very least, the lightest light we can see. We've all heard of black holes, but have you ever heard of a white hole before? Probably not. After all, unlike black holes, we don't really know if white holes exist. But if they do exist, they would operate in reverse. Rather than being so dense that gravity sucks in everything, including light, they would burst out light, and nothing could enter them. Here on Earth, snow and ice look white because they scatter light due to their ice crystals. Ice and snow require sub-zero temperatures to exist, but their white color is also excellent at reflecting electromagnetic energy, which would otherwise be turned into heat, thus making sure that the snow remains cold until external temperatures in the surrounding atmosphere rise enough to melt the snow. White is a color that is not a real color. That might sound like an oxymoron, but it isn't really. White alongside black and all the shades of gray in between lacks colorfulness. Colorfulness, by definition, absconds white, black, and gray, using only tones, tints, and shades to add to those true colors, such as red, blue, and green. When you paint, you are using pigments, and by adding all the colors together continuously, you will eventually end up with brown and then eventually black. However, when it comes to the light you are seeing through your own screen, the white is actually a combination of all light combined. The colors of red, blue, green, and purple combine together with all the others to look white. In nature, there is a concept known as albinism, which is the lack of melanin, which causes dark pigmentation. Melanism is much more common in nature than albinoism, as dark colors which absorb light make it easier to avoid predation in most biomes. Most albinos, such as the albino alligator, would not survive long in the wild, as they'd be spotted by predators during their infancy, and if they managed to survive, which is unlikely, they'd be spotted by prey during their adulthood. There are some exceptions, such as squirrels native to the city of Olney, Illinois, known for their predominantly white squirrel populations. Outside of these outliers, the main region where you see white animals is in the Arctic, as the reflection of white snow and ice makes it perfect for polar bears, Arctic foxes, and others to camouflage in. Humans are an outlier when it comes to the animal world's perception of the outside world. Many animals prefer to rely on sound, touch, smell, but not so much sight. Our sense of smell is pretty terrible compared to dogs, wolves, and other mammals, for that matter. Primates, such as humans, are exceptions rather than the rule, as humans, monkeys, and apes are diurnal, awake during the day, and by and large we are reliant on visible light. After all, early primates lived in the trees, where depth perception and color were paramount for navigating through the arboreal world, evading predators, and finding vibrant fruit. For a visually oriented diurnal species like Homo sapiens, the color white is a godsend. Such a godsend that is seen as a sign of God or gods. If the reflection of light in the form of the color white helps us see and thereby understand the world, then the color black prevents us from doing so. And in a world of predators lurking through the dark bushes and beyond our eyesight, early man felt comfort, knowledge, and even transcendence in the white. This is probably why black and white has been seen as one of the first dualities. A duality of light and dark that would morph into good versus evil. A simplistic, dualistic form for sure, but a powerful one nonetheless. After all, when you are awake, whether it is for work or play, you see the light. White has come to symbolize not only the light, but also the good, the righteous, and even the holy, as exemplified by the angels wearing white. The near universal association of white with all things good and holy is not a surprise. In nearly every language, with words that refer to colors, words for black and white occur first. There is no known language in which there is a word for green or purple, but no words for black and white. The duality of these two non-color colors, if you could call them that, spans time and space. In numerous religious traditions, the color white has also been used to symbolize purity, innocence, the absence of sin, white as snow. White holds a great deal of importance in Christianity, as the color of light, purity, and holiness, and the removal of sins, which oftentimes is depicted in black. Christianity is heavily based upon Judaism, which also associates white with purity, holiness, and peace. The same thing goes for Islam, which came into existence 600 years after Jesus, and they kept the tradition of the other Abrahamic religions of making white the color of holiness. According to Islamic beliefs, the Kaaba and the black stone it holds were originally white, but turned black due to the sins of the world. The ancient dualistic religion of Zoroastrianism, which posits cosmic battles between the forces of good and evil, uses the light of fire to symbolize purity. After all, the hottest fires are not red or orange, but white. To this day, the color of weddings across many human cultures oftentimes is associated with, well, white, and along with that, purity and cleanliness. Although some of these are considered backward by modern standards, as they're associated with female sexual abstinence before marriage, and are oftentimes seen as a product of a backward past by some secular people. Look towards the east, and in Taoism or Taoism, black and white are seen as dualities through yin and yang, two opposites whose existence are dependent on each other. You might think that the enlightened West has moved past the duality of black and white, but we really have not. We call the time in which Europe was backwards the Dark Ages, oftentimes seen as black, and we refer to the time period in which we champion rationality as the Enlightenment, light, white. There's a reason why the word enlightenment has the word light in it, and why light in its truest form is white. Nonetheless, our reasoning, our knowledge, our vision, a vision only available through the color white, has enabled us to see past the black and white duality. Black and white thinking is oftentimes used to refer to people who cannot think beyond simple binaries. People who engage in black and white thinking, by and large, view things as simply being good or evil, rather than a combination of good and bad at the same time. Alas, the world is not so much black and white, but exists in shades of gray, which is the subject of my next video.